Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Okay, calm down. From station WDWL TV, and with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station. The grumpy old man. Oh, me. And, the grumpy vulture. Take your bow. Nice job, nice job. Okay, you know where. Back in the corner. Back in the corner. Look at the camera. There you go. Greetings, friends. Well, as I predicted, more emails from JDM. Oh, I'll tell you what, like I told you, this salesman, he thinks he's got one on the hook. I don't know how to let him down. Yep. Three. First one. After I sent you the videos, I didn't get a response. I was hoping that you would be overjoyed to receive both of the videos showing the complete vehicle in motion, and especially the creeper gear. Email number 2. You are still the only person showing interest. We don't want to lose you as a customer. I'm not a customer yet. Email number 3. I am giving you the office and my personal cell phone number. Any questions? Feel free to contact me at any time. Oh. He thinks that he's got a livey on the hook. Now, let me tell you, if I had access to those kind of funds, believe me, I'd be on the phone asking him where I wire the money and how soon is he going to ship it after he receives my money. He really seriously thinks that he's got me. And friends, let me tell you, if I had access to $5,000, well, let's see, it would be more than that, because basically we got $4,000 for the vehicle, then $1,000 for shipping, and then we got $320 in sales tax and $50 in fee. We're looking at about $6,000. If I had access to that kind of money, believe me, I would be counting down the hours, minutes, and seconds as soon as he told me it was loaded on the transport carrier in California heading my way. From the first time I saw one of these mini trucks, I wanted one. And 2.5 years ago, I could have got one. But unfortunately, 2.5 years ago, dumbass here put his signature on something. Yep. Screwed me. Screwed me. Basically, out of my number one bucket list item. And then what makes matters worse, I've got to find one with a two-tone. Out of 500 trucks on that lot, this is the only one with a fucking two-tone. In green yet. Oh, jeez. Story of Grumpy's life. Believe me. Story of my life. Oh, there's something going haywire with this tablet. It's flashing on and off, changing screens by itself. Oh, I have got to get me a witch doctor in here to cast a spell on this thing to get rid of the demon that's in it. I am going to gently move it over to the other side of the console for fear it's going to set itself off again. Like yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting here talking to you. My hands never left the end of my arms. And the tablet starts up by itself. Nobody's in the studio with me. Except maybe a ghost. I don't know why that tablet keeps doing that. Maybe because it's, 17 years old. Yeah, I've had that. I've heard people. Of course, you have both sides. You will have a group of people that loves a product. And you will have a group of people that hates a product. I have heard both sides of people regarding LG appliances. One of them is my pain management doctor who got really screwed on a $3,000 LG refrigerator freezer. I don't even mention initials L and G in the same sentence for fear of setting him off. I have this tablet. Now, 17 years ago, I got this special deal from AT&T when I had my cell service with them. For an extra $5 a month, for a year, I got this tablet. Now, they told me the extra $5 a month was paying for the data plan that I had to. Here we go. It's going to set itself off. It just screen changed completely. Oh, Jesus. Getting back to AT&T. Now, the $5 a month was supposedly for the data. I didn't use no data on my tablet. I did things like this. I downloaded music to it. Either way, at the end of the year, $60. More than $60. Come on, Grumpy. Calculate. 72. The tablet keeps changing screens by itself. It just went to the home screen. Then it went to my music screen. I'm no more near it. It's 2 feet away from me. It's that AT&T bought such a large quantity of these tablets. They probably got them for 40 or 50 bucks a piece. Now, back 17 years ago, a tablet was like 300 bucks. Retail. Either way, it was, $5 a month for a year. And then I got the tablet for free. Well, it just so happened to work out that at the end of the year, my cell phone service contract ran out. I was paying an ungodly rate with AT&T. I looked into consumer cellular. Unlimited talk, text, and you get a certain amount of data. I can't remember, 25 bucks a month. No ups, no. So I told AT&T, see ya. But before I said see ya, I said, is the tablet mine? Well, yes, Mr. Grumpy, you fulfilled your 1-year contract for your data plan. The tablet is yours free and clear. He said, could you happen to maybe send me an email? Not that I don't trust you. Well, they did. Tablet's 17 years old. The battery is getting real weak. I need to look into, well, I do have another tablet. I got to transfer all the shit from this one over. I'll tell you what. For basically a bottom line, this ain't no top end. LG tablet. This thing has performed outstandingly. It really has. I have no complaint with it. Yeah, I wish there was some way of changing the battery because I hate to give this tablet up. But it's slowly at the end of its life. I also have an LG flat screen. It's a 43-inch. About 15 years old. Same thing. Outstanding picture. I have never had a problem with it. Everybody says, if your LG TV was that good, your flat screen was that good, why did you buy a bigger TV? Well, when I bought the RCA, there was a special, it was one of these Black Friday deals. It was like 45% off and free shipping. So I bought it. 2.5 years later, we know that story. Anybody that doesn't know the story, go back in my archives. I went round and round with the warranty company from, well, it was the extended warranty that I bought because this was the first time I ever owned a flat screen this big. It was 58-inch RCA. I remember RCA from back in the day when they were the world leader in radio and TV. Of course, we're talking 1940s, 1950s. I buy the TV 2.5 years later, 2.5 years later, it takes a shit. But I said to myself, myself, maybe for the $50, take out the extended warranty, because I had gotten the 1 year from RCA, and then the extended warranty was 4 years. Well, 2.5 years later, the TV takes a shit. I argued and fought with Square Trade, which is a division owned by Allstate, to get this damn claim paid. Well, instead of giving me money or letting me order the TV that I wanted, they shipped me another Chinese piece of crap. I didn't want another Chinese-made TV. I don't trust them. So I bought this Samsung. You know the story behind the Samsung. Everybody said, well, in the beginning, why didn't you buy an LG? For one, the LG was not on sale that Black Friday. And for two, the LG was not a Roku TV. I previously had a Roku box. I wanted a Roku TV. The RCA had the Roku operating system. Luckily, when I bought the Samsung, it also has a Roku operating system. So I kind of lean on the favorable side to LG Electronics. As for like their appliances, I have not heard good words. Like I say, my pain management doctor, 6 months, the refrigerator takes a shit, you know. Another friend of mine bought an LG microwave about 9 months. That took a shit. So in some areas, LG is great, and in some areas, they're not so great. So that's why I bought the RCA, and then I bought the Samsung. Even though I have a replacement tablet, it would be like saying the final goodbye to an old friend to get rid of this LG. I'm just going to milk this LG tablet until it finally quits, or aggravates the shit out of me and I break it. I'm afraid to even look at it for fear it'll start playing music again. And then today wasn't bad enough. It decides it wants to play a Frankie Yankovic polka after the intro. They say that tablet's haunted. Now for the best news of the day. I am only 30 subscribers away from 100. Yes, today, when I opened my YouTube, I went from 68 to 70. I was like, oh my God. I was so happy to see that 70. I grabbed the vulture by his throat and I started to strangle him. And then I was like, oh, I better not. I just wanted to grab something. It is unbelievable. And all you folks that are subscribing, you are really making my day. Because I'll tell you what, I was at 30 for so long. I didn't think there was anybody out there in YouTube land. And then I slowly started getting more. And then I hit 55 and it went flat again. And I kind of resigned myself. I said, oh, okay, 55. I looked at some of these content creators, 55,000, the ones that have not only the silver play button, but the gold play button, which is 1 million. And I was sitting here trying to figure, how the hell do these people get that kind of following? Well, one content creator that has got not only a silver but a gold play button, I emailed him. And first of all, he has the money for a production crew. He's not like me. He's got a whole crew that he pays. Of course, he's got outstanding content that people want to see. His production crew put him on every single platform out there. Not only YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, every platform. Do you know what's entailed to do that? You have to open an account with every one of these platforms. I have a hard enough time keeping up 2, let alone 10, 15. But like he said, every time he put content out, it went out like worldwide, every platform out there. Having a gimmick that people want to come back and being on every platform, yes, your subscribers grow by leaps and bounds. I got my goofy shtick here, Like I told a friend of mine, it takes a certain kind of person to subscribe here. Because, I'll admit it, I've got a goddamn dry sense of humor, for one. I tend to swear a lot, for 2. I piss people off by smoking, for 3. And a lot of people do not want to see you drinking a beverage. I don't know what it is. But I have heard from other content creators that they have gotten negative comments when they were, drinking a Pepsi or a Coke or Mountain Dew, iced tea, Red Bull. People, for some reason, do not want to see you smoking, eating, or the one guy I was in contact with for quite a while, he said if he ate something while he was streaming, the nasty comments, you're a fat ass and this and that, and people have to eat. And like he told me, he had multiple projects going that he had to work on. And a lot of times, the only time he was able to eat was when he sat down to do his YouTube stream. And then people were like, oh, Jesus Christ, So, smoking, drinking a beverage, eating, those are big negatives for people. Now, I don't eat on screen. Neither does the vulture. I told him, quit bringing your fucking roadkill in the studio. It leaves a rotten odor at it. So, I just plug along. I don't write a script. I used to. I used to sit down and write a script. I don't have time for that. Well, yes, I do. I'm retired, you know. It's a pain in the ass to write a script. And most of the time, I didn't stick to it anyway. So I come out here and whatever's on my mind, whatever transpired during the day, that's me. I kind of don't like that. I tried to tone this light down that they installed in the studio. It was white, and it was way too bright. So I put a yellow filter in it. I don't know. It looks kind of... I don't know. It looks like the sun is right outside the window shining in the studio. That's what it looks like. And I can't get the damn light to tone down anymore. I tried blue. It looked like I was doing a stream from underwater. I only have 3 filters, a white one, a blue one, 4, grumpy count. A white one, a blue one, a red one, and a yellow one. If I don't have that light in the corner, it's too dark up there. Me and the lighting guy are going to have to work on something over here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it too bright? Or don't make no difference? You're not here to see the studio lit up anyway. Although they did put a new light over here with the vulture's relative hanging there. You couldn't see it. Now they lit it up a little more. It's actually one of them sun catchers. You know, you hang it in the window. I got it because I wanted to torture the vulture and tell him, hey, that's what you're going to be one of these days, a hanging relic in the studio if you don't straighten out. Didn't I like this? Whoa, easy. Yeah. That guy, that salesman. Now, I know they're selling these trucks. So it's not like I'm like the only customer. I remembered one thing that you never do. And I told him, I like green, and that green and white two-tone really caught my eye. At that point, he knows that I'm really interested in that truck, which I am. I would cut off my left arm. Well, if I had the truck, it would have to be my right arm because I got to shift it with my left to get that vehicle. Because like I say, ever since I saw one driving by one day, I was like, holy yatchafuck, I want one of them. Because they're so tiny. And they're neat. The only problem is with them being 40 horsepower, it's not something I could go cruising on the freeway with. Because he told me it barely tops out at 65. Barely. And with that little 3-cylinder motor, those little hamsters are running their little feet off in that cage. Yeah, it's got a little 3-cylinder. That's it. 40 horse. The funny thing is, motorcycles have bigger engines than that. Yeah, this is only a 600 or 660 cc's. My first motorcycle was almost that big. Yeah, 40 horsepower. That's all that thing is. Of course, like the guy that sells them here locally, he told me over in Japan, they don't have a lot of, most of these trucks are used as delivery vehicles. They're not out on the freeway, Japan doesn't have a lot of freeway system anyway. And he says, these little trucks with the drop side, like this one, most of them are coming right from the docks, going to the fish auction. They load them up, they pull up to a boat, load the day's catch on them, and run into town. So there's no need for big high horsepower. And almost every truck is around the same. Now he does the newer ones. He has some newer ones that are like 900 cc's. Oh boy, we're from 40 to maybe 60 horse. But he says the way the transmissions are geared, they cruise right along on a city street. And then, of course, I let him know I'm in Ohio, northeastern Ohio. He's really pushing that it's got these tires that are similar to, what do they call, Blizzaks. They're all winter tires. Of course, he told me, you're going to have to change them because you'll wear them out right away. Oh, yeah, he's got an answer for everything. But it does. It's got 4 brand new winter tires on it. Evidently, whatever area that this truck was used in got some snow. I'm not familiar with Japan. I know they get snow. I don't know if the whole country gets snow, or all I know is it got 4 brand new snow tires. I almost looked up a rim sales company today. Almost. Grumpy, easy. Like I say, I don't know why I am beating myself up over this truck. I can't afford it. Yes, I would love to own it. Because when Grumpy kicked the bucket, they would be burying me in it. Yeah, get out the backhoe, fellas. You're loading this in the grave, buddy. But yeah, I showed you the picture. Oh, let me tease myself once more. Hang on. Go to pictures. Go to mini truck. There we go. The two-tone green 1991 Subaru Sambar. Yep, there it is. Green and white. With a nice, beautiful gray cloth interior. Grumpy, delete that picture. Whoop, got the phone the wrong way. Yeah, delete that picture. Here we go. How about my fat cat? Yeah, my 22-pounder here. That's the way he likes to sleep, on his back. Yep, that's him. Hey, I can't get rid of this now. Even the damn cell phone's acting up. Jesus. Yes, I already know that. I'd delete that too. Oh. My new drone finally arrived. I just had to buy one. Now I do have that one. But I told you about, you need an app with a cell phone. I don't want no app. So I found one on sale. Oh, look at that. Oh. Now it does have landing gear. I didn't put them on yet. And the neat thing is, this camera's adjustable. Now it does have one underneath, but this one, you can adjust up and down, side to side while you're flying it. I haven't flown it yet. It just came today. And the neat thing, yes. I don't need a cell phone because the controller has its own screen. I did try it. It looks neat. So, as soon as the weather breaks, Grumpy's going to be a drone pilot. And I'm not going to do the stupid thing that I did before. With the other drone, when I figured out how to turn... Remember, I couldn't figure out how to turn the damn thing on? Well, I figured out how to turn it on. And I downloaded the app in an old cell phone. Of course, the cell phone kept popping out of the controller because it's a pain in the ass. So, I've got it running, okay? And I hit the button for automatic takeoff. Not paying attention. I'm in the studio. Well, it took off all right. It bounced off of every light fixture in the studio and then crash landed in the corner. Because Grumpy didn't turn on the obstacle avoidance, for one. And for two, I didn't read the instructions where it said, do not fly in closed quarters indoors. Oh, it went right up, bing, 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 bing. Oh, it was bouncing around like a pinball. Unbelievable. No damage. No damage whatsoever. I figured for sure I would have chipped blades or... Nope. I don't know how it bounced off every light fixture in this studio and didn't break. even when it landed in the corner, because, oh, did it make a noise? I checked it all out. I was like, oh, okay, shut it off, took the battery out, put it back in the carry case. I said, no more indoor flying. So when this one come in today, I really wanted to fly it. I was like, I did turn it on because I wanted to check out the camera. Because there's a memory card in the controller. So you can literally save your flight. So I gently put it on the console and I turned it on. And then I hit camera on the controller. And I sat here and waved at it. And then I shut it off, put it back in the carry case. I took the little SD card out. That camera is amazing. All right, I was only 3 feet away. Crystal clear. I could not believe the camera on that drone. I cannot wait to get outside and fly it and film some stuff. Because what I plan on doing, boring, I know, it's got auto hover. You take it up whatever height you want and you just let go of the 2 control knobs and it will hover. So I'm going to take it up over me. I'm going to hover it and I'm going to wave at it. I know, Grumpy, you're losing it. But I can't wait to play with it. One reason, my buddy's nephew, he works in Hollywood. And he flies them big goddamn, it's like 6 foot in diameter. It's got like 12 rotors on it. They're huge. Well, they're commercial drones that they use for the studios. He had to get a professional helicopter pilot's license in order to fly that big-ass commercial drone. I couldn't believe it. Like he told me, it's like got a 6 foot diameter on it. It's huge. The camera on it is about the size of a normal DSLR. He had to go to flight school. He's flying a drone. But you have to have a commercial helicopter pilot's license to fly a commercial drone. I couldn't believe it. I asked him, I said, are you qualified to fly a helicopter? He said, oh yeah. I had to get the regular license. And I'm flying a drone. But the FCC... And then when he's filming stuff for the studio, he's got to watch. Because being out in Burbank, the studio is right by an airport. That's a no-no. You can't even take it off to test it. But yeah. So I asked him, I said, where do you fly it? He said, well, there's an old naval or Air Force base around San Diego somewhere. Or LA, I don't... All he said is, the government closed the base and they're allowed to fly it in that area to test it. You can't take it all the way up and do stunts and all that shit with it. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. In order to fly a commercial drone, he had to go to helicopter school. He had to get his regular license. He showed it to me. I was like, oh, wow, impressive. To fly a drone. But we're talking a drone the size of an SUV, you know. We're not talking this little toy that I got here. But yeah, when I went in my YouTube today, because last night, when I went off the air, I was still at 68 subscribers. I looked today, and then I looked, I was like, holy shit. You know, I made the joke that I hope to get at least 60 by the end of January. And then when I hit 60, I made the joke, boy, it would be nice to get 70 by the end of February. I might hit 80 by the end of February. Oh my God, would that make my day? Of course, the goal is 100. I want to get to at least 100. But I'll tell you what, one at a time, two at a time, I am ecstatic. And I owe it all to my buddy across the pond. He's working some kind of magic. I'll tell you what. He really is. Matter of fact, I told my neighbor, I said, I'm worldwide. She said, no goddamn way. I said, oh yes. I says, I'm worldwide now. I says, I have a subscriber across the pond. And she said, what pond? Now you got to know my neighbor. She's 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. I said, over in London. Okay, here we go. London, Ohio. Oh, I wanted to hit her. I said, London, England. Yes, we do have a London in Ohio. How she knew that, I don't know. Like I say, lights on, nobody's home. Elevator, don't go to the top floor. 3 sandwiches short of a picnic. Yeah. London, Ohio. Well, I might have somebody in London, Ohio, but I know definitely I got somebody over in London. Maybe even more than one in London. Anywhere in the UK. It would be interesting to know how many I have. I know I have one in Sweden. I haven't heard from him in a while. Now, he might have unsubscribed because you don't get a name list and location. You know, you just get subscribers. But I did have one in Sweden. But it would be nice to know where they're all from. But I am, all right, I'm not worldwide, but close. I'm across the pond. I'm surprised she didn't say, do they have internet over there? I was waiting for that. But when I said London and she went, Ohio? She's got a good heart. A little, yeah. 3 sandwiches short of a picnic for sure. But good heart, generous person, great personality. Just Got to tighten the screws up a little bit. I really wanted to laugh when she said London, Ohio. I just... Across the pond. Across the pond? You mean London, Ohio? The pond over in London? I don't know. Maybe they got a pond over in London, Ohio. I'm going to have to ask her, of all the places, why did she say London, Ohio? I'm going to ask her. Maybe she's been there. Maybe she was standing by a pond in London, Ohio. I don't know. Oh, Jesus. What I got to put up with. And here's how cheap she is. She will wait. Now, if you want to see something hilarious, when my neighbors leave their driveway, they take off like a rocket launch. Because if you pull out of your driveway slow, she will wave you down to go get cigarettes for her. Because she's too cheap to use her own gasoline. Every neighbor around here, they'll start their car, they'll get in, put it in gear, and take off like a rocket. Either that or it's like they'll look straight ahead. They won't, because if you turn and you make eye contact with her, you got to stop. And then she'll say, can you get cigarettes for me? And of course, my truck is as loud as can be. And she knows I warm it up. So when I go to pull out of the driveway, she's standing at the edge of the driveway by the sidewalk. And then I have to go get her cigarettes. But I learned a lesson. You hold the cigarettes and you tease her. Because if you give her the cigarettes, she beats feet in the house without paying you. So when I get cigarettes, it's like a little game. You got money? You got money? And then she peels out the money like, oh, God damn it. Well, you'd have had to pay for them if you went for them yourself. But no, she don't want to use her gasoline. So she sits in her living room window and watches. Uh-oh. John is pulling out of the driveway. Beat feet outside. Then John will, okay, I'll go get your cigarettes. The one day deliberately I brought her the wrong ones. Oh, did that piss her off? But she didn't ask me for like 2 weeks. I didn't see her for 2 weeks. I was like, oh, I should do that again. And then she reminds me, don't bring them Pall Malls. I don't smoke Pall Mall. Well, I knew that. I just wanted to piss her off. Now she smokes my cigarettes, LD. I can't tell her, oops, I bought the wrong ones. Yeah. I live in an interesting, believe me, it's not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I've got one neighbor. You never see him. He only comes out at night. He must be part vampire. During the day, you never see him. But what pisses everybody off in the neighborhood is he'll cut his lawn at 8 o'clock at night. You hear the lawnmower at that, I'm like, oh, Fred's cutting his lawn. It's 8 o'clock p.m. And then I have another neighbor. Sunday morning, 7 a.m., he cuts his lawn because you're allowed. The noise ordinance, you're allowed. I think he looks at his watch. 6:58, 6:59, 7. And then he'll be out there for like an hour with his leaf blower, getting every little tiny blade of grass off his driveway and sidewalk. We want to gang up one day and strangle him with his extension cord. Yeah, it's not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood over here. But it makes for interesting conversation. I gotta say that much. The tablet just changed screens 3 times. I don't know what's with this stupid thing. I'm not even near it. It goes from the home screen to the app screen to the music screen, back to the home screen. Like somebody's over there flipping the screens. I guess it's telling me it's starting to go. I better get all the music off of it and put on the new tablet. I don't know why I have not done it. I guess maybe since it's still working, I don't want to give it up yet. But I've got a brand new, well, it's not brand new, but it's reconditioned. I haven't touched it. I turned it on to check it when I got it. I was going to transfer the music, and I was like, oh, because I can do it via airwaves. I don't have to plug anything in to do it. I can put the 2 tablets side by side and do a music swap. I don't know why I haven't done it. It's not like I got a ton of shit to do. Although, I do have to put the new graphics card in the other computer. I haven't done that yet. Yeah, I'm going to take that new Recon computer over in Studio One. I bought a bigger graphics card, and I'm going to bring it over here. Because I don't trust this computer. Because the other day I was freezing up a little bit. I was like, oh, not that shit again. Well, I should make a list of things to do. Transfer music from one tablet to the other, install graphics cards, switch computers over. I would do it. But there's like, anybody that's got a computer, you got 9,000 cables. You got the power cable, you got the VGA cable, you got the mouse cable, you got the keyboard cable. Any music cables, it's just a shitload of cables you got to unplug and replug and all this. I wish, with the advancement of technology, you would think somebody would come out with a computer where it's just one big plug. Everything combined in one. You just Bing. One big plug. Instead of this cable and that cable and this cable and that cable. Then you got USB 1.0 and 2.0 and 3.0 and everything. That's why a lot of this stuff hasn't gotten done. The back end of my computer looks like a bag of snakes with all the cables back here. And then I've got, we don't even want to go into my gigabit switches and all that shit. I know, Grumpy, you're retired. You ain't got nothing better to do. You come on, you do a show for an hour. You prep for about 20 minutes before the show. Do something already. But see, if I do all that at once, then I don't have nothing to do. I know, I like to procrastinate. I just... warning. Oh, it said your YouTube is at a healthy streaming rate. I haven't seen that in ages. Usually I get that red box that tells me you're dropping frames. That was nice to see. Your YouTube is streaming at a healthy rate. Maybe since I threatened to swap computers out, this one decided it's going to be cranking good. And I don't understand why I'm having a problem, because I put a brand new graphics card in this computer. And it was bigger than the card that was in there. I'm not supposed to be having any graphics problems. But yeah, this one acts up. So I got that newer computer. Although, I got to hook the Chewy up, because I got the Wi-Fi unit for it. See, the Chewy doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi. So I had to get a Wi-Fi adapter for the Chewy. That came today. So I got to get the Chewy hooked up for my fourth birdwatching computer. Yeah, you ought to see the two brothers out there in Florida. Oh my God, them suckers are getting big. And now it's getting to the hilarious time, because they're testing their wings. And they're funny to watch, because they test their wings and they jump up and down in the nest. And they're getting a little bit of air, 6, 8 inches, wings flapping, jumping up and down. And they do this several times a day. And it's funny because one will start, and then the other one starts. And then they knock each other out of the way, because I want to do more wing time, And there ain't enough room in that nest for both of them to be jumping up and down. So one will jump up and down and start, and then the other one, he'll bang him with his wing so he can flap his. It is hilarious to watch them two baby eaglets testing their wings. The sad thing is, when they finally take to flight, they will not return to the nest. That's the sad thing. Once they take off and go, they're gone. They don't come back. And I've been watching them since they were little fuzzballs. And I hate to see them go. But I still have the nest that's in Big Bear. That mom is sitting on them 3 eggs yet. We're waiting for them to hatch. They'll be hatching the first week of March. And then in Kisatchie, wherever that, down in Louisiana, those 2 fuzzballs are starting to grow. So when the boys in Florida leave the nest, I'll still have 2 more nests to watch. It'll just be a sad day when the 2 brothers take off, because then they're gone. That's what the guy from the Natural Resource Department said. Once they take flight, they will not return back to the nest. So I hate to see them go, because I've been watching them since they were about that big. But now he said probably within the next 2 weeks, they'll take their first flight and then they're gone. I'll miss them 2 little guys, Dasher and Dancer. I still don't know which one's which. And the interesting is, they don't know if they're 2 males, 2 females, a male and a female. Right now, they're all black. They don't even have their head caps. Matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to go in and I'm going to ask, when do they get their white head cap? How long does it take? Because they've gone from gray feathers now to their black feathers. But they got to get their white feathers for their heads yet. Their headdress. And then they'll be real bald eagles. Like Mom and Dad. But see, Mom and Dad will stay with that nest. That's the neat thing. They will stay with that nest. And then I don't know if I don't know if they lay eggs twice a year or not. I think there's another question I'm going to have to ask. Will once the boys are gone, will she lay eggs again? I don't know. I'm enjoying eagle watching. I've given up on the hummingbirds. I can't take them. Because they move so damn fast. You know, the parents come in to feed them, and they're like, bing, 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 and then gone. I'm like, and you can't see their wings because they flap them so fast. Yeah, I watched the hummingbirds for about 3 days, and I was like, oh, I'll stick with the eagles. Slow motion. Although it was funny today, because one of the parents came back with a fish and dropped it in the nest. And the one brother grabbed the fish, and he wouldn't let the other one have it. But the strange thing was, he wasn't eating it. He was just moving it around. He didn't want his brother to have that fish, but he wasn't going to eat it. And then Mom came back, or Dad, or whichever, I can't tell them apart. And then decided, hey, that's enough of this shit fighting over it. And then she fed them both. They can feed themselves. They're just little lazy asses. I will get you, if you're interested, the 3 YouTube channels that I watch, because there's one down in Florida, there's one in Louisiana, and there's one out in California. I watch 3 different areas. And it's interesting because they've all laid eggs at different times. But we're waiting for them 3 eggs to hatch. Now, both parents have really been good at keeping them eggs turned. Even when that nest was covered with snow the other day. I felt sorry for that. They got a sudden snowstorm. And the nest was covered with snow. All you could see was Mom's head. The rest was all snow. And then finally she shook the snow off. But I'll tell you what. She rarely got up off them eggs. And when she turned them, she didn't waste no time. Because of all that goddamn snow, she didn't want them eggs to get cold. So, fingers crossed, we hope all 3 of them eggs hatch. At least I do. And everybody that's watching. Grumpy's turning into an ornithologist. Not to be confused with a proctologist. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, I got to go see one of them doctors next month. Oh, boy. Fun, fun, fun. And then, I do some weird-ass thinking. I'm sitting, having my coffee the other morning, and I'm like, out of all of the medical fields that you could go into, why would you choose being a proctologist? That would be the last thing I would want to do all day long is look at people's asses. All day long. Why would you... Matter of fact, when I go see this doctor, of course he's gonna learn Grumpy real fast because I'm gonna ask him. Because, doctors, after they examine them, any questions? Why, yes, Doc. Go ahead, Mr. Grumpy. What do you need to know? Why, out of all the fields of medicine, did you choose proctology? And the answer could be interesting. You'll probably say, well, I really wanted to be a dermatologist. I'll say yes. But for some reason, I kind of got stuck at the ass end of the class. Oh, so you're at the ass end of the class, so you decided to study asses. Now, yeah, we do need them doctors. But of all the fields of medicine, why would a young 24, 25-year-old choose proctology? I'm going to ask him. You couldn't make it as a heart surgeon or what? And it'd be the last field of medicine I would study. Especially, you come home from college and you meet with all your buddies that you went to high school with, and they're like, gee, Grumpy, what field of medicine are you studying? Proctology. What? Proctology. We didn't hear you. Proctology. Oh, you're an asshole. Well, that's a part of the study. I'm going to ask him. I am going to ask him. And then I will give you the answer. Because he's older than me. by looking at his picture. Either that or looking at asses all these years aged him, but he looks like he's about ready to retire. But I'm going to ask him, out of all the fields of medicine, Doc, what led you to proctology? And I can't wait for the answer. Just saying. The answer should be interesting. I know one thing. If I had a kid going to college and I was paying for his education, come on, Grumpy, education, and he come home from college and said, I finally settled on a major. What's that, son? Proctology. Get a job. You're paying for your education from here on out. I am not telling my friends you're in that line of study. Nope. That's it. We're done. I'm canceling the check. Matter of fact, I'm going to cancel the credit card too. You're done. I ain't buying your books either. Nope. I'm not telling my friends at the club because they're all going to ask me. And they're going to say, Grumpy, your kid's an ass. Well, it's that line of study. You got that right. I know I'm a sick son of a bitch. I know. But I'm going to ask him. I am. Because it's something I've always wondered about over these years. Why, when you could be a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, be a neurologist, internal medicine, and then urology's another one. You got the opposite end of the spectrum. Proctologist, urologist. Why do you want to study below the waist? That's what I'm going to ask him. You could study brain, you could study heart, lungs. You want to study below the waist. And then he'll throw me out. He'll say, cancel the next appointment. Or he'll tell his receptionist, give him to another doctor. I don't want to see that idiot no more. And I'll be like, good. Because I'll tell him I didn't want to come here to meet in the first place. Yeah, my primary care doctor said, you will go. Okay. That was when him and I got into the argument about a colonoscopy. And I said, nope. And he said, what do you mean, no? You're over 50. Yeah. It's important. Yeah. Why not? For what you have to go through. Like the day before. You drink a gallon of rectal Drano. And then you spend the next 14 to 20 hours in the bathroom. I ain't going through that. I ain't drinking a gallon of rectal Drano. Nope. Then to have a 20-foot camera stuck up my ass. That's not a movie anybody wants to see, Doc. You won't have people begging on YouTube, hey, we want to see Grumpy's latest test. No. I don't think so. Oh, it's time for dinner. I'm having bratwurst for dinner. Yes, Grumpy got himself some nice bratwurst. And some sauerkraut. I'm going to make me a nice bratwurst sandwich with some nice spicy brown mustard and some nice sauerkraut. And then tomorrow, you know where Grumpy will be? Sauerkraut acts like liquid Drano, rectal Drano, yeah. But I couldn't pass them bratwurst up. Oh, yeah. I walked past that meat counter. Give me some of them. Yeah. They haven't had them in a while. So, yeah. Usually, I walk right past the meat counter because of the prices. Got my basket. Whoa, back up. And the butcher said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yes. I want some of them nice fresh bratwurst." And he gave me the bratwurst. And then he said, "We have some fresh, old-fashioned sauerkraut." I was like, "Oh, good. Give me a container." They had a big vat. He scooped it out, put it in one of them Chinese containers, Here you go. Oh, boy. So, that's dinner tonight. I went over to the bakery, and I got some nice, fresh rolls. So Grumpy's going to have a feast tonight. And then tomorrow, I'll be squeezing the Sherman. If you catch my drift. And with that, hopefully the tablet plays the outro music. It's got me nervous. Let me get my stylus. Okay, here we go. Music time. Oh, good. No! The can. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it started to play the can. This, like I said, this tablet's got a freaking mind of its own. It's haunted. The can. We don't want can. This is what we want. Yes. Yes, we know where. Right here. WDWL TV. Grumpy Studio. Tomorrow night. Friends, it's been a very enjoyable evening. Reaching 70 subscribers really made my day. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And thanks for tuning in.